Hello everyone, Amit from Ecovisionnaire. From today, I'll be starting with topic-wise explanation of economics class 12 syllabus. In these videos, I will be explaining you all the important topics of all the chapters of macro and Indian economic development. To start with, today I have national income for you. The topics to be covered today are intermediate final goods and expenditure and stock and flow. I'm sure after watching this video, you'll be able to answer all the questions linked with these topics. So let us start with our first topic today, intermediate versus final expenditure. So बहुत बार बच्चों से गलती होती है आइडेंटिफाई करने में कि इंटरमीडिएट गुड्स क्या होते हैं और फाइनल गुड्स क्या होते हैं. सो विल अंडरस्टैंड इंटरमीडिएट गुड्स फर्स्ट. इंटरमीडिएट गुड्स आर गुड्स, इसके दो तरह से हमें एक्सप्लेन करना है. आर द गुड्स विच आर कंप्लीटली यूज्ड अप in the process of production. So if we produce anything and use the raw material or use the things which are used to make the final good are intermediate goods. Example, cotton to make cotton shirt. अगर हम कॉटन शर्ट बनाते हैं और कॉटन को यूज करते हैं, थ्रेड को यूज करते हैं, प्लास्टिक बटन्स को यूज करते हैं, that are intermediate goods. And the expenditure on those goods is known as intermediate expenditure. Secondly, anything which we purchase for resale. I am a bookseller and I purchase books from the publishers and sell to an individual or to household. तो मैं पहले वो चीज खरीदता हूं और फिर आगे बेचता हूं. तो मेरे द्वारा जब वो चीज खरीदी जाती है वो इंटरमीडिएट होती है. And when it is sold to the final consumer, then it becomes a final good. So यहाँ पे हमें एक चीज ध्यान देनी है कि anything which is used up, which is inside the production boundary, it is known as intermediate good or expenditure. And जब finally वो good market में बन जाता है, that is a final good. Here I'll mention one more thing. Many students think that sugar, milk purchased by household and also by a tea stall owner are both intermediate goods. बच्चे मुझे कहते हैं कि सर वो तो चाय बनाने के काम में यूज अप हो जाता है. But here the tea stall owner is selling that tea to the final consumer. Whereas जब हाउसहोल्ड वो जब वो मिल्क और शुगर खरीदता है तो हाउसहोल्ड खुद फाइनल कंज्यूमर होता है. So anything bought by the household is final. Household consumers don't buy anything for further production, therefore it is not intermediate. But anything bought by firms, अभी आप लॉन्ग टर्म को छोड़ दीजिए, anything bought by the firm is called intermediate. अगर it is lasting in less than 1 year, it is intermediate. If it's a long term investment, then it is final. So why are we doing intermediate goods here? Intermediate goods are not added in national income because their value is already in the final good, which is already added in the. So double counting को avoid करने के लिए, to avoid double counting, we don't add intermediate expenditure. Here also expenditure of firms on services too, like services of a lawyer taken by a firm, services of an advertiser, advertising पे जो खर्चा करती है firm, बिजली पे इलेक्ट्रिसिटी पे जो खर्चा करती है फर्म, all these are the intermediate expenditures of the firm. The same expenditure done by the household consumer directly is known as final expenditure. So let us understand final also, students. Final की भी दो एस्पेक्ट है हमारे पास. Final goods are purchased by a consumer for final consumption. When we buy laptops, bikes, we buy eatables, we buy a burger, they are final goods. And when it comes to firms, when firms buy long-term use goods or goods of for capital formation or investment, laptops, furniture, machinery, cars, these are all final goods when it comes to firms. तो फर्म्स, कई बार बच्चे लिखते हैं कि फर्म्स की सारी चीजें इंटरमीडिएट होती हैं. देयर वाज वन क्वेश्चन दैट ओला ने टैक्सी खरीदी और ओला ने जो टैक्सी खरीदी, स्टूडेंट्स रोट इंटरमीडिएट एक्सपेंडिचर. नो, व्हेन ओला बाइज अ टैक्सी इट इज फॉर फ्यूचर, इट्स एन इन्वेस्टमेंट, इट्स अ लॉन्ग टर्म इन्वेस्टमेंट. अ टैक्सी लास्ट फॉर से 5-6 years. So therefore it is a final good or final expenditure. Same laptop bought by a laptop dealer is intermediate, but laptop bought by anyone else, be it a firm, be it an individual, it's a final good. So intermediate versus final. Why are we doing this? Intermediate goods are not added in the national income. Final goods are added in the national income. Final goods already include the intermediate goods. Therefore, if we add intermediate goods to national income, it leads to double counting. So final goods are added, intermediate goods are not added. Intermediate expenditure is not added. Let us solve some question and understand the concept using these questions. Mobile purchased by a student. Student is a final consumer. Therefore, it's a final expenditure. तो भैया जो मोबाइल परचेज किया है बच्चे ने वो फाइनल एक्सपेंडिचर है. आगे वो स्टूडेंट उसको बेचने वाला नहीं है. It's a final use. So final expenditure. Fee paid to a lawyer by a firm. So firm is paying the fee to the lawyer and that fees is included in the cost of the product which the firm is offering. So I told you all the expenditure by the firm is intermediate if it is not long term. So it's an intermediate expenditure. Third, coal purchased by a thermal power plant. Coal is used up in the production process in producing of electricity. So it is also intermediate. Please give the reasons also. Chalk and duster purchased by a school. We take private schools, we take schools as firms. So chalk and duster are the commodities used up in giving services. बच्चे कहते हैं सर ये फाइनल यूज कर रहा है स्कूल. नो, इन सबके चार्जेस आपकी फीस के अंदर ऐड हुए हुए. So therefore it is called intermediate goods. They are used in the production of services. Sugar purchased by a tea stall owner, ये हम पहले भी बात कर चुके हैं. He makes tea and sell it to the final consumer. Therefore it is also intermediate expenditure. Fees paid to a lawyer again by an individual now. So if I have a family dispute and I pay a lawyer, I am the final consumer. So that fees comes under final expenditure. Car purchased by anyone except the dealer is a final good और फाइनल एक्सपेंडिचर. लॉन्ग टर्म चलने वाली है, जल्दी खराब नहीं होगी. अगर फर्म की जगह इंडिविजुअल भी होता तब भी फाइनल एक्सपेंडिचर होता. फीस पेड टू अ चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट बाय एन इंडिविजुअल, अगेन फाइनल कंज्यूमर इज यूजिंग द सर्विस, देयरफॉर इट इज अ फाइनल एक्सपेंडिचर. सॉफ्ट ड्रिंक परचेज बाय अ कैंटीन ओनर. सॉफ्ट ड्रिंक कैंटीन ओनर क्यों खरीदता है? फर्दर सेल के लिए, उसने उसको आगे बेचना है. ही हैज टू सेल इट टू द स्टूडेंट्स. सो देयरफॉर इट बिकम्स इंटरमीडिएट. I hope you understood. इसका relevant, what is the relevance? Value of final goods is added in the national income, but value of intermediate good is not added. I hope you understood the topic. Coming to the second topic of the class today, it is the difference between stock and flow. Stock, यहाँ भी बहुत confusion रहती है. What is stock and what is flow? Any economic variable which can be measured at a particular point of time. If I ask you right now, I ask anyone right now, how much money do you have in your pocket? You can tell me. The money which you have in your pocket, maybe 500 rupees, is stock. How much water do you have in your tank above? That is stock. You can say 500 liters, sir. So that is stock. How much water is stored in the dam is stock. How much quantity of good you have in your storehouse, that is stock. Your stock of books, how many books do you have in your house, is a stock. I can measure it at a particular point of time. So that is called stock variable. Whereas economic variable, which is measured over a period of time. My income is per month. It is earned over a period of time. So whenever I want to tell you about my income, it has to be over a period of time. But my wealth can be calculated at a point of time. So wealth is a stock, income is a flow. जो टंकी में पानी था वो स्टॉक है, but when I open the tap, it becomes flow. So your sales, your profit, anything which has time dimension is a flow. So your investment, your profit, these are all per month, per year. They are flow because they are measured or measurable over or during a period of time. तो स्टॉक जो अभी इंडिया की पॉपुलेशन 140 करोड़, That is a stock. India's population increase growth per year is a flow. So flow over a period of time and stock at a point of time. Again, this will be better understood with the help of the examples. So let us see the first example. India के सारे mineral resources का stock, you can know we have lakhs of tons of say gold, or lakhs of tons of say copper, or lakhs of tons of say bauxite. It is stock. उसका हर साल का extraction time dimension per year becomes flow. Because similar cheese, the number of students in your school right now, number of students is a stock. We have 2,300 students in our school. It is stock. Admissions per year is a flow. Production of cars is a flow. Because production of car goes on per year, per month. Cars in the factory right now, cars they are ready in the factory right now is stock, but production of cars is a flow. India's foreign debt, yes, it can be measured at a point of time. Say India's foreign debt is $200 billion, which we can tell you right now, so it is a stock. Money supply in India says say 60 lakh crores. So RBI can tell you the money supply right now. It is a stock. Similarly, अगर हम बात करें आपके अकाउंट में at right now what is the amount? It is called stock. But your usual bank balance is a flow. GDP of India, like national income, is of course time dimension. It's a flow. Capital with which your company started, of course we can tell you हमारी कंपनी स्टार्ट हुई थी 50 लाख से. So it's a stock. Depreciation per month, per quarter, per year. Depreciation of fixed asset is a flow. Why are we doing this topic? National income. We are dealing with various flows. So national income is a flow. When you get this question, you have to give the reason also. For stock, you will say as it is measured as it is measured at a point of time, it is called stock, and flow over or during a period of time. So that is how you differentiate between stock and flow. Students, you can download the Ecovisionnaire app, get your free tests and subject-based material. All the sample papers are also being uploaded because this year sample papers have come first. So we are uploading that. And for economics coaching, if you want, you can contact Ecovisionnaire at 9891203546. And on YouTube, you can also watch these videos for free. So subscribe for this channel now, Ecovisionnaire channel. And I'll be back with the next class the next day.